Chair.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Senator King. Senator Portman.
Thank you. And Governor Perry, thank you for your willingness to step up and
Yes, sir.
serve again in a different way, and your family for sacrifices that involves. I enjoyed our meeting. Apparently, it wasn't as scintillating at the conference table here than as your one on the couch with my colleague from Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
But it was interesting, and
Yes,
we
sir.
talked about a number of topics. One was the importance to my state and to our nation of having a uranium enrichment capability. In Piketon, Ohio, we have a plant that produced enriched uranium until about 2000. At that point, it was shut down. It was a gaseous diffusion method. It's now being cleaned up. When President Obama ran in 2008, he promised to accelerate that cleanup. In fact, just the opposite has happened. Pretty much every year we've had to fight just to keep the cleanup in place. It's gone from a 2024 timeframe to a 2044 end date, costing taxpayers, by the way, billions more by stretching it out and not being more efficient about it. And I'm very disappointed in the Department of Energy for their inability to follow through on their commitments to the plant. And frankly, it's really difficult for people who work there. They just never know if their next paycheck is going to be there, and this usually happens around Christmas time, as it did in this past Christmas. So one question for you, would you be committed to looking at this cleanup effort in a more logical way, helping to ensure we have the funds necessary to be able to expedite that cleanup, which again provides security to these families, but importantly, lowers the cost for the taxpayer by getting this cleanup done?
Senator, I will commit to you that I will become as educated on this issue as I can in the most expeditious way that I can manage it, and employ management skills and capabilities. Again, without knowing the deep details of this, but my instinct tells me that this is an issue of execution, of good management.
Well, I thank you for that, and I'll put you on the spot here further. Secretary Moniz, when he went through his confirmation hearing, committed to come to the site. We never managed to work that out. I'd love for you to see this site. It's a couple thousand acres. As I've told you, it has incredible infrastructure, electricity and water. It'd be a great site for a future plant, including a power plant, including a nuclear power plant. The community is very supportive. Would you commit to come out and to see this yourself, to see the huge investment that Department of Energy has made into this facility?
Senator, I will commit to that, and I will suggest that you know how to get a hold of me if I don't show up on a timely basis for you.
Great. Well, thank you. And then second, we started a new centrifuge technology project there a few years ago. We were very excited about that. In late 2015, without any notice, the Department of Energy shut that down. Unfortunately, they had spent, hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer money up to that point. Those centrifuges are still there. They're not spinning anymore. They're apparently going to be sent to the desert, which is an enormous waste of taxpayer money. We have no ability to enrich uranium in this country. We have to rely on foreigners at a time when we have an increased volatility globally, and at a time when, ironically, we're telling Iran they can go ahead and enrich uranium for their domestic purposes. We as Americans don't have the ability to do that. My question for you there is, would you also be willing to look into this issue? And I'm not going to ask you for a specific commitment today on restarting this, because I know you need to research it, but I hope that you will give this your personal attention and objective consideration, because it seems to me we need to have enrichment capabilities in this country. Do you have a response to that?
Senator, I will give it the appropriate and thorough study. In addition, I will say that the enrichment of uranium in the United States is a national security issue, and one that I take very seriously. I look forward to working with you to not only understand this issue better, but if it is concluded, as I suspect it will, that this is indeed a national security issue that needs to be addressed either by the United States Congress and or the administration, you will have a willing partner in making sure that the DOE does it in the most efficient, most effective, and most economically feasible way that it can.
Well, thank you, Governor. It is a national security issue. There's no question about it, not just being reliant on foreign countries, including Russia, for uranium, but also because we need lowly enriched uranium for tritium in the nuclear stockpile, and of course we need to have enriched uranium for our nuclear navy. And I know we have stockpiles now, but we don't have the ability to be able to quickly be able to enrich. It probably takes a decade to get this back up and going if we shut it off altogether, and again, enormous cost to the taxpayers. Finally, just one last question. We talked a lot about energy efficiency in our meeting. I told you about the fact this committee overwhelmingly had voted out an energy efficiency bill equivalent of taking 22 million cars off the road by 2030. We also passed it in the entire Senate, 82 to 12, 82 to 15, as I recall. Both the ranking member and the chair have been at the forefront on this issue. I would like your commitment today that you'll work with us on energy efficiency and help us to get that legislation across the line.
Yes, sir. Use me as you see fit.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Portman. Senator Duckworth.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for being